Dave is with the Alexander Group, and many of you may be customers of the Alexander Group. They get involved in sales effectiveness and sales compensation. And Dave is going to join us to speak this morning about really as companies go through various phases, sales compensation can and should be altered to help affect those phases of growth. So please join me in welcoming Dave Cichelli. Dave, come on up.
Thank you for that great introduction. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Salespeople, separate genetic life form, right? They were born, they don't do anything unless you pay them. Is that the... Mr. and Mrs. Cichelli, you've had a sales rep. Sales compensation, you know, it's a very interesting and narrow subject, but when it's not right, it can produce a lot of noise. And what I'm going to actually share with you, I kind of live in the world that you live in. Some of you are part of finance, some of you are part of sales operations. The world that I live in is sales organizations, how they're structured, how they're deployed, and how they manage their subsystems like CRM systems and sales compensation and things like that. So that's what the Alexander Group does. We're management consultants and we help solve those problems. And it's generally, you know, you would say, well, David, you work mostly with large companies, and that's true, but we also work with small companies too. And it reminds me of one story. I got called up. Santa Monica Seafood. Anybody from Southern California? Santa Monica Seafood delivers fresh fish. And the guy calls up and says, we need help over here at Santa Monica Seafood. And I go, you know, I don't know if we're really the right players for you. He says, no, we want you to come by. So I go up to Santa Monica and go up above the place where they're slicing and dicing the fish that they brought in and they're going to be shipping out. It's all white tablecloth fish. And I brought into a conference room and I'm introduced by this guy who's, Harris is his last name. And I'm introduced and he goes, this is Gerald Cigliani. He is the owner of the company. And Tony Cigliani, Edward Cigliani, Vincent Cigliani, six brothers are the sales reps, okay? And we're having a problem, and the brothers are all the salespeople. We're having a problem selling to Asian chefs, you know? And it's like a scene out of The Sopranos, you know? I'm thinking to myself, oh my God. So this guy Harris says, now, do you know anything about the fish business? Actually, I don't. But if you're a distributor and you're trying to improve gross margins, I can talk to you about that. And also, you might have an issue about segmentation. Well, we think it's the compensation program, you know? And I think, well, that's pretty interesting. So I turned to Gerald. And I remember I'm being interviewed for this consulting work. I turned to Gerald and I said, well, Gerald, who calls on the Asian chefs? And so this guy Harris says, no, you direct the questions to me. I said, first of all, I look at Gerald Cigliani. I said, first of all, it's not Cigliani. It's pronounced Cigliani. That's the correct pronunciation. And if I want to talk to Gerald, I'll talk to Gerald. And so Gerald goes, okay, we're going to hire this guy. True story. But anyway, even though they had six sales reps, they had compensation issues. Okay. They had Gerald Cigliani. I'm not kidding. They look like the Sopranos, the whole group of them. And they're wonderful people. Had them over the house and scared the hell out of my kids. We're here. Where's David? It's true. Anyway, the issue about sales compensation and the deployment of sales organizations, whether you're large or small, it's the same issue. So I kind of live in the world that you live in, and that is, you know, the compensation program needs to be designed to meet the sales reps' needs and things like that, and the motivation of the company. So you get these things, and I'll tell you, if you're at the receiving end of a compensation design, somebody says, okay, here's the comp program for 2011, and you look at it, you go, what? Like, who wrote this? And I get these handed to me all the time. What do you think, Dave? I don't understand them. They're gibberish. Okay, well, we have a Montillagon here with a reciprocator that's going to multiply with a double credit back forth, and it goes into a matrix, flies away, and comes back again for the President's Club. What do you think? What? Here's a trivia question for you. How often do sales compensation programs change on an annual basis, okay? So, no, each year annually, do you change your compensation programs? Okay, not the survey question I ask. I do a survey every year, been doing it for 10 years. I always ask the same question. Did you change your comp program? What percentage of companies change their compensation programs? 10%. 80, 95, 92 to 95% change their compensation programs. Why? Why are they changing the plans all the time? Wait a minute, here's a better question. Tweaking. We're going to tweak the comp program. What is that? So what I'm going to share with you today is you're often, like I receive copies of somebody's written up a comp program. What do you think, David? And how can it be improved? And you also are given those comp programs. You're participating in the design process, and then you're asked to administer them too. Well, there's a couple questions. Why are they so confusing, and why do they change all the time? Okay, so that's really what I'm going to chat about with you this morning. So I have a whole bunch of material I'm going to present to you, and it'll probably make your head spin. I have handouts of it later. We're going to be giving out the book and all that sort of stuff. You're going to have a copy of the handouts if you'd like a copy of the handouts. But I'm going to suggest to you that the sales compensation program needs to change. It needs to change on an annual basis. Otherwise, you're running a museum. It's Antiques Roadshow. Yeah, we got this comp program. Probably, got it from a former sales executive that left. We haven't changed it. What? No. You need to be changing your compensation program and not tweaking it. Why do you need to change it? Because your business is changing. Okay, so that's why you need tools like Exactly to make it easy for you to make those changes. So right away, get accustomed to the world that every year the compensation program is supposed to change.